I'm the breathwork facilitator on the Resurface retreats. I've been a breathworker now for coming up to 3 years. It was just something that found me in a way. I do a lot of yoga and attended a breathwork workshop, and I just had a really deep transformational experience in that workshop, and it really inspired me to go deeper with breathwork. And I did a number of sessions with the coach, and then trained with transformational breath. Prior to that, I had a long successful career in business, working for big corporates. I worked in the magazine industry throughout the 90s, early noughties, as a publishing director, working on some amazing magazines from Enemy to Loaded to Vox Music. And then I decided to completely change industry. I went into hospitality and established a successful restaurant and event catering business, eventually selling that to a big American outfit. I've done a number of consultancy gigs as well, and yeah, I really still love business, but my main purpose and mission really is breathwork now, and bringing breath to people and helping people, and yeah, that's what I really enjoy doing. So on Resurface, I bring breathwork in two real formats. We do group breathwork, so that's when we all breathe together, and then I also am available to do one-to-one sessions, which can go a bit more in depth and work on people's personal intention. You know, burnout, resetting, we hold a lot in our body. You know, somatically, we really can hold a lot in our body. People come here often with very busy minds, but don't always think about how they're holding on to their stresses, their strains, their emotions. Breathwork can really help with that. It connects you very closely, quickly to your nervous system. And a lot of people I find on this retreat are holding on to things. They're really not willing really to let go, or not even aware of what they're holding on to. And by doing conscious connected breathing, which is the format of breathing that I bring to the retreat, it really helps people go deeper, get in touch, get real clarity of what maybe they're hanging on to, what's blocking them in life. And through the breath process, it's really quite magical in many ways. People can actually start to see what they're holding on to and actually release it in a very somatic way. People come out of it feeling all sorts of things. They can feel much lighter, they can feel quite emotional, they can feel really euphoric. It's a mix of emotions, and it's just really part of the process of Resurface. It's very synergistic with the work that Josh is doing. There's a lot of exercises, activities that are really working with the mind, but I really get to work directly with the body and the somatic stress that people are holding on. I mean, everybody's breath is really like their fingerprints. They're completely different. Everybody breathes different. So some people are shallow breathers, some people really breathe, you know, deep down in their abdomen. Some people are chest breathers, some people hold their breath. So when I'm working with people, I'm really do a little breath analysis to identify their breathing pattern, and then I try and adjust it. I try and kind of factory reset us really, because when we're babies and we don't have any thoughts particularly, or cognitive, nothing holding us back, we breathe deep in our belly, we release that breath all the way through our solar plex to our chest. And that's what I try and encourage people to get that breath back, to get that deep, full kind of breathing. And the technique that I use, we breathe through the mouth, we connect to the breath. It really helps with that reset. And I just see in people's breathing patterns various places where they're maybe holding on their breath, or they're a bit stuck. And I apply just hands-on pressure. It's called body mapping, to help people just increase their breath, breathe more efficiently. Because if we're not breathing efficiently, we're not living efficiently. The breath is so important to us. You know, we can survive without water and food for, you know, a whole number of days, but we need to breathe all the time. And it's quite unbelievable to me that how little attention people spend on their breathing patterns. And I can quickly help people see maybe how they're restricting their breathing, and that's potentially restricting their life. Yeah, I mean, in a group, I'm really managing, this week it's been 10 people breathing, so obviously in an hour they only get so much attention from me. We don't set an individual intention. I encourage people to think of an intention, but what's really important in a one-to-one session is that we spend a little bit of time before the breath session so I can understand what's maybe blocking this person in life, what they want more of in their life, and we can then set an intention jointly to find something that really resonates with them. And it becomes like a mantra that we repeat through the breath session, and we use affirmations and the intention to kind of just help build momentum. The other thing with a one-to-one is, I'm much more hands-on, so really coaching the breath all the way through to make sure the breath is deep, to make sure the breath starts in the abdomen, that the diaphragm is being fully used, and we're connecting the breath as well. We don't want pauses in this type of breath work, so I just really encourage that, and they can also focus on parts of the body where the breath isn't really reaching, and I'll do a little breath analysis before we go into the session so we can see where the breath needs kind of encouraging, where it needs stimulating. And it's very much a personal, in-depth experience, it can be very deep experience for people as well.